It was actually a pretty casual interaction. We've never had a need to physically see each other before. He texted me about a game he was going to go see and asked if I wanted to see the silly hat he purchased. Fully expecting a picture of it in his hand, as I've always gotten, I said, "Duh." I got a picture of his face. The first one ever. He's seen my face before, about 2 years ago, so it was still 5 years of friendship before he knew what I looked like, but I didn't expect the gesture to be returned. He's a private guy, a lawyer. He likes sharing certain things with me, because we don't live in the same country, so my knowing some things isn't a big deal. He's still very careful with names and real detail, always has been, as am I. We are always extremely respectful of the private parts of our work, but share certain vague, but implied details to check in with each other about our actions and how we handled it. I just responded, "Did you just send me a selfie?" And he just replied he thought it was about time. I lolled and told him after 7 years it was about time, but I wasn't going to pressure him. I was totally expecting to not know what he looked like until we met in person, and I was fine with that. We met playing D&D. He started playing in my games and slowly became a member of my found family. My wife and I have played D&D since we met, and we have a tendency to adopt random players we find in other games. That's how we found this friend, and our 2 other amazing close friends. I was just so floored because of how private he is with his information. We've hung out online at least once a week for 7 solid years. This last year I've started helping him to write his first book, a long-time dream of his. We're opposites of each other in a lot of ways. If we lived in the same country, we would likely be at political odds. He approaches everything very rationally, and I approach things very emotionally. Our moral standing is very similar, but that's about it. We both have special interests in completely different areas of the same subjects too. He likes war tactics, I like learning about impact, suffering, and aftermath. I don't have a family anymore. I miss the closeness I shared with my siblings. I miss the support, the feeling of deep sincere love, the trust that we've got each other's backs in tough times. The lack of question that there is any other expectation. I'm a CSA and trafficking victim from childhood, so I wasn't safe for my parents. But siblings were luckily always safe for me, so I tend to want to fill those roles in my heart, but it takes someone strong enough to hack it. I never needed to see the faces of the people that fill those roles, but at some point, I usually do. It's just a natural thing that ends up happening whether I want it to or not. But 7 years, that even beats my record, and I'm honored. I love my friend. I love my found family, and I'm really touched by this act today because he did it out of love.